This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in partnership with Empire Fight Store. The press conference has just finished. Anthony Joshua and Jermaine Franklin. I'm joined by the legend, Colin Hart. So you do smile, but you are a legend,
right.
young man. What was your instant reaction to that press conference? Serious? He's got the fire still. How did you see it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've just come back from sitting down with Joshua. This is a vital fight. Every fight's vital, but this is more vital than most because of what happened to him. 2 defeats, coming off 2 defeats, losing his world title, and he's got to get back into contention. So, although on paper he's got an easy fight, on paper, but no fight's easy, particularly a heavyweight. So he's got a lot to do. He's got to overcome the mental problems he had in the last fight, as well as being physically more aggressive.
You said easier fight. Are you happy with the level of opponent, Colin?
After a guy's had 2 straight defeats and lost his world title, psychologically he's down, and you've got to bring him back with a win. So strategically, it's a wise move to not bring him back against somebody who is supposed to beat him, put it that way.
Is this a lose-lose for Joshua, though? You know, because there are a lot of people that are probably... Go on, you explain.
Joshua's in a no-win situation with this one, in many respects. If he knocks this guy out in 3 or 4 rounds, everybody's saying, well, it was expected to do that. If he struggles with a points win, or he should possibly lose, then obviously the game's up. He is probably at the end of his career. So it is a vital fight.
A lot of people were saying that they wanted the Dillian Whyte fight. Would you be happier with this one? Or, as you explained, I guess that would be too dangerous, maybe.
As a fan, I would want him to fight Dillian Whyte. As a boxing writer, I can see the sense of him not fighting Dillian Whyte at this stage. Once he gets past Franklin, then he can't have another... he's got to have them fight somebody, presumably, who's in the top 15 heavyweights.
This press conference was more, a lot of it was looking back. It's 10 years until he made his debut back 10 years ago. Where would UK boxing be, as said on that press conference, without Anthony Joshua, do you reckon?
Well, it would be where it is now. Don't forget, he's not the only heavyweight we've got. We've got Fury, who's is the WBC world champion. We got Joe Joyce, and we got Danny Dubois. I mean, they're 3 excellent heavyweights. So boxing, nobody's irreplaceable or indispensable. Boxing has been going on for hundreds of years, and it will continue with or without Fury, with or without Joshua.
Do you think that's perhaps said too much by the team up there, that it's without Anthony Joshua, without the Sky Sports and the rest of it, that boxing wouldn't be where it is today?
He's made a tremendous contribution to British boxing.
But he's not the only one, you'd say.
But, boxing will continue. I remember, when Joe Louis finished his career, they said, well, that's boxing finished. And then along came Rocky Marciano. Then he went out of existence, he retired, that's boxing finished. Then a certain guy called Cassius Clay, i.e. Muhammad Ali, came on. He went. That's boxing finished. Mike Tyson came along. So it evolves, it carries on.
You mentioned there about the mental torment that AJ's been going through. 2 hard losses, but against terrific opponents. Obviously, the Ruiz loss was really detrimental to AJ's career. You've had a sit down with him. How is he? Did you see, in terms of your conversations you had with him, how is he?
I mean, sitting at a table opposite each other, he's great, he's fine. What's going to happen when he climbs those steps on April the 1st, gets in the ring, and the world's attention is focused on him, then he's got to be mentally strong, and hopefully he will be mentally strong, and I hope his new trainer, Derek James, will make him physically more aggressive than he was against in the 2 Usyk fights. But having said that, you mustn't belittle Usyk. He is a great technician, a magnificent master of his art, and so he was not an easy number to meet.
Are you concerned at all in terms of the changing of training teams? I mean, AJ's been over to the States looking for training teams. Are you concerned with the back-to-back training change?
Well, he's thought long and hard about who's going to train him. I think it was a mistake. He had 2 trainers in his last fight. He had 2 men in the ring with him in the first USAC fight. This time, Derek James is in sole control. He's obviously a great trainer. He's America's Trainer of the Year last year. He's got 2 world champions in Spence and Charlo. The man obviously knows what he's doing. He's an ex-pro himself. He's 51 but looks 31. He's got all the attributes, and hopefully they will gel and he will be able to bring the very best out of Joshua on the night.
A little bit more about Franklin. Elite US amateur, brilliant against Dillian Whyte. Arguably, a lot of people thought he won that fight. This could be the fight where he changes his life.
Oh, yes.
On April 1st.
We mustn't dismiss Franklin. I remember dismissing a man called Buster Douglas before he fought Tyson. We laughed at him when he said he was going to knock Tyson out. Learned from long experience, never write off anybody. But logically, you could look at his record. He's really only one fight of any note he fought was Whyte. He's what I would say, he's a journeyman, but a good journeyman.
Along with the announcement of AJ and the matchroom schedule was the DAZN price hike. A lot of negative comments on social media in terms of that. What do you make of it? Are they getting value for money, the consumer?
Well, only we'll tell after the fight whether they get value for money. Are they going to buy it? That's the thing. At $19.99, it's a big hike from $9.99. I mean, these people are businessmen who run DAZN. We must presume they know what they're doing. They know how to market fights. So presumably they won't suffer financially. But, we're living in an age when people have financial problems. The world is, financially, this country's in a bit of a mess. There is a financial crisis. So it's a bit asked to make people pay that much more for their entertainment.
Do you understand? I mean, there are reports suggesting that DAZN has lost subscribers and now putting the price up even more. Can you see the reasoning behind that at all?
I don't know what their budget is and their budget sheets are. I'm not a businessman. I'm a poor, humble sports journalist.
Moving swiftly on as well, a DAZN fighter and someone that's been mentioned about a load of times is Conor Benn. Reports are that Manny Pacquiao could be the comeback fight. Surely that's not the right step in the right direction, is it, Colin?
I've heard about this so-called Manny Pacquiao fight. I just hope it does not happen. I would hate to see Pacquiao fighting Conor Benn in his 40s. I mean, it means one thing to me, that Manny Pacquiao, who earned an immense amount of money, he must have he gave most of it away. He may have given all of it away for him to be even thinking about fighting again. After all, Conor Benn was a world-ranked welterweight.
Suggestion as well for Colin Benn was the Josh Kelly fight. They seem to be dismissing that. I myself, I don't know whether it's just me, but I like that Josh Kelly fight. I know Josh Kelly's just won the British title at British level, but I still think that's a good fight, Colin.
Well, it may or may not be, but Mr. Benn has got to overcome something else. He's got to be allowed to fight again, although the WBC say he can, until this drug investigation is over. We can't be sure about which way Ben's career is going to go.
Finally, a fight that has been, apparently it was signed, now it's not signed. Reported that the talks are going on a negative line is the Tank Garcia and Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. How damaging for the sport is it that fight doesn't happen, or fights like that don't happen?
Oh, listen, we've had this a million times. I will be very disappointed. I was really looking forward to Davis and Garcia. It was supposed to be in April. Now there's a doubt. It's not surprising. I mean, how about Spence and Dawson? That's another one I want to see. It's been going on for generations. Not always do we get, in fact, rarely do we get the best fighting the best in boxing, because of rival factions. They're contracted to different people, to different TV companies. That's one of the big problems with boxing. There is no world governing body, and there never will be.
Colin, thanks for your time, sir.